Development Lakers is brought to you in part by Morongo Casino Resort and Spa. Good times.
Earlier this season, LeBron moved into third place on the league's all-time scoring list. He needs just 29 points to reach 34,000. He's got Kareem, Karl Malone, then him. Behind him, the late, great Kobe Bean Bryant and Michael Jordan. Time now for a little Access 360, brought to you by Morongo Casino Resort and Spa. Good
times.
From a legend like LeBron to two guys on the rise, Alex Caruso, Shake Milton for the Sixers, two dudes who've had two-way contracts and have had to work their way up and are deserving the credit they're getting now, Fish.
I just had a moment, bro. Sorry about that. I couldn't. Yeah, Kobe's the only guy on that board that's not.
I know.
So,
see that list, and it brings back.
I'm back, bro. I'm back.
Got you, Fish.
Yeah, Shake and Caruso. I think similar to mentioning Kobe, right? Like what made him so great was he had this worker's mentality. He had a grind and a grit to him that even though he was supremely talented, he outworked everybody else. And to me, Caruso and Shake have separated themselves from G League two-way type of guys to like at the highest levels, these guys are playing great defense and they're positively impacting plus minus when they're on the court. Here defensively, watch for this tonight with Shake Milton. Good size for a young guard, good long arms, active. You see the strong finish with the left hand against the Clippers a few days ago. And similar to Alex, right? Able to get up the court, cause discomfort, create turnovers, and then strong enough size to get to the basket, finish through the contact, and one opportunity for AC Fresh and the Lakers. Next clips you see here offensively, right? A lot of guys become just catch and shoot guys. But what separates Milton is Kawhi closes out, poor closeout, leaving the middle of the floor open. Milton putting the ball down to his left hand, comfortable going left, finishes strong at the basket. And then here, defensively for AC Fresh, active, keeping them out of the middle, pushing them to the baseline, and then not fouling the jump shooter. Side contest. And getting out right away, pushing the ball, getting to the middle. And again, instead of charging and running through the defense, gets himself under control. Nice little floater, nice touch, getting to the basket. And so, so many guys in sports now, and especially young kids, you want everything now. Nobody's willing to wait for their opportunity to come. Both of these guys, they were patient, they worked hard. They got opportunity in the NBA, and they are there to stay.
Yeah, I agree with you, Fish, and that was a great breakdown. Caruso's going to miss his second straight game with a sore hamstring, but his emergence has been really fun to watch, and he's earned it, as Fish said.
There's no question. There's a lot of guys that make it to the NBA that have a lot of talent that have not worked as hard as these guys have had to. Not that they've not worked hard, but you take two guys like that who have worked on their craft and had to work on just about everything, had to do what every coach said and, submit themselves to, going to the D League, back and forth, do I need to retire and go get a real life? There's a lot of things that go on, and to see them overcome that, especially Caruso. I mean, I watched him. He was really tentative. You could tell he was trying to do whatever the coach wanted to say. And then all of a sudden at the end of the season, I think last year or year before, he just
turned into AC Fresh.
Yeah, he turned into AC Fresh. He had a breakthrough. He decided not to deter, and then all this strength and all this talent came out. And I just love to see that same thing with this young kid in Philadelphia.
Yeah, couldn't be happier for AC Fresh. I mean, 2-year contract worth about $5 million after toiling in the minor leagues for a few years. And by the way, this is why the NBA created what was the D League, the Development League, back in the day about a dozen years ago. Now it's the G League, sponsored by Gatorade. And when it first came out, people were kind of like, well, minor leagues in the NBA? Okay. But as you can see, with these two good young players, it has definitely helped refine their game. So now when they get to the big league, they look pretty good.
I still like to call it the D League for some reason.
I know. Well, it was that for years and years. Now it's,
Thank you,
now it's a G League.
You're a sweet cleanup dude, man.
Let's bring in our good friend, Alley Clift. Hi, Allie.
Thanks so much, Keith. You guys just talked at the start of that block about LeBron James needing only 29 points to reach 34,000 for his career. We also talk in general a lot about the fact that LeBron James is in year 17, doing some pretty incredible things at the age of 35 on the hardwood, making us wonder if he's really ever going to slow down. But then there are moments where the storyline becomes about the rookie versus the vet, like the other night in Memphis against Ja, or in New Orleans versus Zion. Moments that beg the question to be asked of the king. Why, Bron, do you invest your time in the game's future?
It's my obligation, it's my job to continue to pass on the game to the guys that's coming in after me. That's just my responsibility. No one told me to do that. I just feel like it's just my responsibility to leave the game in a better place than when I had it. And when you see the class of guys that's in our league right now, I mentioned Ja last night, you mentioned Zion tonight, you see Trae Young, you see Luka Doncic, you see Jason Tatum, Donovan Mitchell, you just see all these guys, these young guys. The league is in a very good place, and if I'm able to give my wisdom and game and pass it down, no matter while I'm playing or after I'm playing, I feel like it's my job, because the game is just giving me so much since I started playing when I was 8 years old. So it's my responsibility, and anybody that says that LeBron, why would he do that while he's playing? It's a sign of weakness. He's buddy with the guys that he's going against. Tell him to kiss my all right, with a smile too.
Here's my smile to all of you. What's your thought on LeBron taking on that challenge, that obligation for the future?
Yeah, no, it's bigger than basketball, and I don't think there's anybody that has an experience of carrying, what comes with being one of the all-time greats the way LeBron does, and passing that on to the young guys. I haven't lived in his shoes, but you do feel the obligation when you have been such a big part of the game. I like it. Like I said, I wish that more guys did it offline, though. Like, you can say what's up to each other after the game, shake hands, but then if I really want to positively impact your life, I'm going to write you a letter, I'm going to pick up the phone, I'm going to text you, I'm going to DM you on IG or whatever to really share a message with you that sometimes you can't necessarily say in front of the microphones. But I do respect the fact that LeBron takes that role seriously and is willing to not just be selfish and hoard it to make himself look better, but that he's willing to pass it on to the younger guys.
I agree, and we learned after Kobe's passing how many guys he impacted and talked to and stayed in touch with. And big game, I got to think people critiquing LeBron for this never played in the league. Right?
Yeah, I mean, there's several entities.
Who are you talking about?
If you're critiquing it, you maybe not even played. You never even played Little League, probably. I'm just saying.
Tell them how you really feel.
It's embarrassing, right?
I think that's the answer right there. Yeah, I mean, I remember, MJ, getting it from Bird Magic. Yeah. It's always been that one or two players who present themselves as someone who holds the history and understands it and wants to bring forth something better. Michael, passing it over to Kobe. And I don't think, and speaking of like keeping it on the down low, I don't think too many people knew the depth of MJ and Kobe's relationship. So there are ways to do it. But yeah, there's the responsibility that comes from those who play the game the way it's supposed to be played and represent the history, and they're supposed to pass that torch on in a proper way.
One of the most surprising headlines I've ever seen was about 5 or 6 years ago, and it had to do with Kobe Bryant working out off-season with Russell Westbrook. And it's like, hold on a sec. They're both in the same conference. They just saw each other in the playoffs a few years earlier, a couple years in a row. Kobe is helping out Westbrook, and that's when you realize, this can happen. Two of the best of this generation can help each other out. Kobe obviously getting towards the end of his career at that point. And now you know who else is? LeBron. He's 35. He's not playing like it, but he's got 2 more years on a contract. I could see him going beyond that by a little bit. But maybe LeBron, like Kobe a half dozen years ago, is also saying, you know what, time to impart some wisdom among the younger up-and-coming guys.
I think you also see, like in golf, right? Like Tiger Woods starts to spend time with some of those
Exactly.
younger guys, and it's not only passing the torch to the younger guys, it's picking up new tricks from those
But
guys.
he wasn't doing it in 2001. He wasn't sharing info in 2001. Very
I think
LeBron's
more picking up new tricks.
And by the way, that's the beauty of LeBron. He imparted some wisdom on Zion and then went out and dominated Pelicans.
Yes.
Right.
And won the game.
Yeah, and LeBron's 35. He's not 26. If he's 26 and
He's not
buddy,
doing
buddy,
that.
he
Yeah.
wasn't doing that 9-10 years ago.
Yeah. All right. We're getting closer to tip-off at Staples Center. Veteran big man Al Horford went for 16-6 in Philly's victory over the Lakers back in January. He's back in the starting lineup with Joel Embiid sidelined. Lakers and Sixers are coming up at the top of the hour. It's been an up-and-down season for Kyle Kuzma, but he continues to make his mark with his ability to score in bunches. We'll catch up with Kuz.